So if you don't know, you're with comedian David Boyle. And I've quit alcohol. I'm just going to tell you a little bit of how I think the arc of quitting alcohol sort of goes. So there's a reason you quit alcohol at the start, isn't there? You're like, it's ruining my fucking life. Which is a good place to start. That's a good motivating factor. Even though it destroys every other aspect of your life, every single facet of your life, it's still very hard to make the decision to give up alcohol. It's destroying your life. You decide, fuck it, I'm going to give up alcohol. Usually you give yourself a time frame. You do that time frame, then you get straight back to where you were. So essentially, you've almost wasted that time. That's how I found. I took a break off, and then all it does is at the end of that time you've given yourself, I just went straight back to exactly how it was before, and then it would escalate even further. So this time, for me, it's for good. Like, I can't drink anymore. The first few weeks are fine because you're sort of building momentum. And you're good because you're like, fuck, you're not waking up hungover. You're not feeling like shit. You're not waking up with a panic attack or freaking out during the day about some shit you fucking said or did. The first few weeks is fine. Then the next few weeks, it sort of plateaus out. And you're like, oh, fuck, is this it now? Like, when you quit, there's no parade for you. No one gives a shit. No one gives a fuck. And it's not like you feel better. Like, there's an underlying reason why you're drinking in the first place. And that is because you feel like shit mainly. And the only way to jack up your existence, to get you those highs, is to drink. Okay, so after that plateau comes the point where you're like, where I am now. Where you're like, well, if I'm going to feel like shit anyway, if I'm just going to sort of like meander through, what's the fucking difference? What's the fucking difference between this and me drinking every now and then? And then you start justifying, you're like, well, if I just had a few drinks, I'm just going to feel as shit as I do now. I'm not going to feel that much shitter. At least I'll have the fun high of the drink. And that's where you sort of fucking, this little period here is a tough period to negotiate. But it's all right. This period only lasts for the rest of your life. So it's a little hard to negotiate, like if you think about it over the long term, but hopefully your life isn't that long, then you don't have to deal with it. The shorter your life is, the less you have to deal with. It is a tricky little fucking situation because you really do need to find some shit to do because it creeps up on you. Like you need to replace it with something. Like exercise or fucking, I don't know, reading. Reading's a good thing. Writing, I sort of do comedy. I do this podcast. That helps me. This podcast really fucking helps, to be honest with you. Gives me a reason definitely not to drink. But yeah, it's not like, it's not all beer and roses. Is that the saying? Or was that a Freudian slip? And there's one other thing. It's like, when you're in this spot now, it's real hard to remember how you were feeling during those drinking days. During those, towards the end where it was fucking you right up. And you were miserable and you were real fucking dark. It's hard to remember those days. All you remember is the fucking good times. Not even that. Most people don't even remember the good times. I remember a few of the good times. I also remember the fucking bad times, but I've run this race quite a few times now, so anyway, I'll be dropping in with some pearls of wisdom like this and telling you where I'm at in the whole scheme of the drinking, the quitting drinking every now and then. Thanks everyone for listening. Tell your friends about it. Add me on social medias. Add me on Instagram and Facebook at Boyle Comedy. Appreciate your support. See you later.